feel it, eh?
Sometimes it just feels like, even now it still feels like, oh God, is it all just in my head?
Yeah, I hear you.
Um, so I
Okay.
will share with you,
Yeah.
because landing there on the ground and being in the water and giving my thanks, um, the tears came because it's a huge well of grief. And just what I was offered was condolence and an earth hug, just a holding.
Mm.
Yes.
And what I am asked to give and I'm happy to give is surrender.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, so there's still a lot of letting go. And when I look at the grief, um, my mind will go to, oh, does that mean now? And does that mean if I come with grief and therefore something's happened? Or is it touching a reservoir that sits inside me in a long time? Something I don't always
Yeah.
touch, um, which is all tied up in my family anyway, so I don't touch it.
Oh,
um,
so it's
interesting,
generational trauma.
interesting times. So we'll see, won't we, what happens? But I've known for a while that we only had a year or two left,
Yeah.
and we're tanking our way through the second year.
Oh,
So I don't know. And again, as I said, is that all in my head? But I look at my dad and I think sometimes he knows as well. And uh, you try, you
is this?
try just gently touching it with him, and then he gets angry with you, and it's like, yeah, no, no, Dad,
Oh,
I'm not pushing you. Um,
yeah.
it's okay to talk to me. I'm not going to go do silly things or, try and smother you with anything. And so then he relaxes off, and it's like, no, I'm managing this, but I'm noticing the change in both of them. So,
Yeah.
uh, while there's a large part of me that doesn't believe that I will feel much because of everything that's gone on,
Yeah.
that touching ground there and that blessing in the water was, no, you're going to feel very, very deeply.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, while we're with the earth, when you're feeling her, how does it feel, or how does she? No, how do you? How does it feel when you see her receiving her child back as she
That
brings through to
that was
birth?
is yeah. It's
Yeah.
very welcoming. Very it's that sort of feeling of finally being held.
Yeah. So I give thanks for her and acknowledgement and be a part of that,
Mm,
feeling her receiving her children back again.
yeah.
And we feel how she receives them. Just breathe with that for a moment and feel the beauty of it. And for
Yeah,
me,
absolute
I'm
love.
great. Yeah. And you look at what a
Absolute
gift
love
that
that.
is.
Mm,
And if we can give thanks for people for that journey, for going back to that place of such love,
Mm.
mm,
how does that feel?
mm.
We can have a gratitude for what they're being received by.
You
And when
know,
you feel them going back to that, does it feel like they truly die?
Yeah, I mean, um that's why I often feel that, I'm not going to feel anything because
Yeah,
it's not that I'm not going to feel anything, but that
yeah,
that time of transition and that it's not
mm,
really a loss, and I don't view it that way. Um,
yeah.
mhm.
uh, and
Mm. It's nice to touch it tangibly, I find.
yeah, yeah.
Like
But
for
obviously,
me,
as the people
yeah,
left walking on the earth, you are left with a sense of, something's
yeah,
not there anymore that was, but I
yeah.
don't see it as a negative thing, and I don't see
No,
it a bad thing for other people either.
Yeah.
Death's part of the cycle.
Yeah. When the earth showed me, she took me into a valley that had a whole lot of trees that had been washed down in various floods and things like that. And she showed me how all the trees are being reabsorbed back. And in that process, you can feel there's still part of life. There's life in them that's breaking them down.
Yeah.
They weren't in their upright form,
Mm.
but their form was still form and becoming part of another form. But I could also feel how the energy of the trees, instead of just disappearing, it was actually merging into the smaller seedlings and things around to build on them and their knowledge, and they were going to grow even further from that. It's like their knowledge being absorbed into the trees around them. And I shared that with Tanya, and she shared with me how there was a woman who actually is finding the same thing scientifically. What we are is never lost. It's just
No,
added
cool.
to another aspect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we're surrounded by Oak Creek on three sides where I'm sitting, right?
I do.
Oh,
And
I
it's,
didn't know three sides. I just
oh yeah,
knew
wraps
it
right
was
around
there.
the mesa. And I was getting strongly last night. It's interesting you said that because I should be in total panic the way this thing's taken off, and I'm not. It's probably because I've lost my mind. But what was coming clearly was those of you who come here to do this, as our people are showing up, one of the gifts we're going to get back is some deep personal healing ourselves, because we need it to move forward.
Yeah, that's what
And
it felt like.
Yeah, you're the first one who came into my
oh,
awareness when that was. And then
that's
we have
interesting.
the Reverend Christopher. Hi, Eliane.
Yeah. That Oak Creek, for whatever reason, it's one of the first things I've got to visit. As
Yeah.
you say it, I feel like I've got to visit it at least on two sides, maybe even the third one.
It's the reason for going, actually. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's
Is for
definitely
Oak, that area more than it is the gathering. The
Yeah.
gathering is an excuse
Well,
to
yeah.
get us
the
there.
gathering is to hear the mother.
Yeah.
That's right. Like we talked
Yeah.
about the other day.
Yeah.
And Oak Creek
Yeah.
is the lifeblood here. It is the
Yeah.
water source in Sedona area.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We do have to visit it.
Yeah, I figured we'd stop at it on the way up from the airport, actually.
Yeah. It feels urgent.
Mm-hmm. She wants to
It's
know
not enough.
She wants to know who you all are as you get here.
Yeah. Yeah. Two sides. We've heard something we can do, but that feels more social, but yet still respectful. It's interesting. There's a friend of mine. A friend has offered to take me to some other places of water. He's near Sedona. He's declined to come to the gathering, but he's very earth orientated. He's Dene.
We've got pushback from some who think this is just another Sedona woo-woo event. So going to be doing some recordings, going to do some tomorrow with Eve Crow and
Yeah.
get them out there. She's another one who's wants to do this with us.
That was one of the comments one person I asked if they would come along.
Yep.
Said. So if we can get some of that out, as you say, the grounded people, the recognized people.
The people who really understand, the people who can feel the earth, they're going to know. We want to get it out for some of the others.
Yeah.
The ones who have stopped trusting. Like
Well,
me.
I think it's like you said in your blurb that you wrote, Jim, that it's the first, and it's there to show what we're actually about,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it will be the thing that sets the ball rolling, and it sets the tone for people,
Mhm.
so that they can say, yeah, okay, this is not just a bit of Sedona woo woo, or here in England that would be, you know, Glastonbury
Yes,
woo woo,
yes,
because it's the same
it is.
energy. It's usurped somewhat.
Those who are called will come. I was,
Mm.
again, sitting with a couple of these people who are now going to really dig in, and two of them are psychics. Both of them, in different times and places I was with them, said, whoa, the door is being opened, man, the people are going to come. What are we going to do with all these people? And I went,
Yeah.
and then I went, okay, relax, let it be.
Yeah. So did I see
Yeah.
from your event that you've now got the place is going to be the actual park?
So far, no. That was what came when Robert and I talked right after that meeting.
Okay.
I've sent messages. I've been invited in Wednesday.
Mm.
I need to reserve it. I can't figure that out yet. It's interesting because I've got some money coming that I've waited for a number of years after that automobile accident.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's not here, and all my accounts are frozen. But I have to book this stuff somehow. I don't know what it's going to cost, but you know, a couple of thousand, I guess. But it'll work. It's all coming as
Well,
needed.
funny enough, that's one of the things that I actually wanted to talk about today. Hi, Alianne, by the way. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Because it's just something I want to keep making sure that we're very mindful of. And it's, you know, it's not a complaint at all, but we have to just really watch money that we spend individually. Because SOTM has to start paying for itself. And what I wanted to say on that front is if you feel it is required and you're happy to pay money for things, then I think what we need to agree is that if you do that, you do it as a donation. If you do it and SOTM, you know, in the back of your mind, you require to be paid back, then what we're actually doing energetically is putting SOTM into debt before it's even got on its feet. And energetically speaking, I don't think that is a good way of setting ourselves up. That's what and I know we, you know, the trouble is we need lots of things, and it's like looking at the Vimeo account. Actually, you know, I mean, Robert's already paid a certain amount for that, but you can only upload 2 videos a month. And if we're going to be doing the work we're going to be doing, we're going to need the account that allows us to have 500 videos a month, and that's not cheap. So I know we need to get on with making funding, but I just think it's really important to clear that bit up, because we have to be energetically careful what we're doing, because money's energy, and you know, it's not how comfortable people are. It's just defining it, I think, is what I mean. I'm just not comfortable with it. Just sets up a possibility for rot. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, as I've thought about it, and you had sent the topic and I added it to the agenda, and I've considered it before, that, well, like the Zoom thing. I mean, I just consider that a donation to SOTM, right? Now, unfortunately, right, I'm not the IRS has made it so I can't really deduct that money, but I don't care because I give all other kinds of places that I don't, I don't give to get back from the IRS, right? But so many people give that way in this country, right? Well, I can't give anymore because I can't write off my taxes, but I'm fully invested, right? So we're gonna, this kind of, I'll take this back around for a quick update on the articles of incorporation. I had to do a correction, same as last time. I had to put comma incorporated at the end of the name in Article 1, and the registered agent has like two names in their title, and I guess they're really separate entities. So I had to take out the one and just make it a registered agency, Inc., and sent that back. And so they replied that was on Tuesday morning. And so it's been sent on for filing. So it should be complete soon.
Good.
I didn't see it. I went out, mailman hasn't been here today. But expect to see that now at any time. Well, that's going to lead to the opening, we need to open a bank account so we can receive
Yes.
funds. Well, that needs
Yeah.
to be seeded.
Mm.
We need to open a bank account ASAP because I don't know where to put the money when people start paying for the event.
Exactly.
Right. And so I don't have an issue with, helping to seed that.
Mm.
Okay,
Well-
I can, well, I have giveaway money every month, and so that's just becomes my giveaway for that period, right?
Yeah.
So do a
Well,
few
that's
things.
my point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sorry, Jim. Carry on.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that is my point, that it's not that we necessarily have to define things or write anything down or say we shouldn't, but I think we need to have the discussion that, because it's all about intent, isn't it? So
It is.
where we're at right now, if SOTEM cannot pay for it itself, and we collectively as a board cannot come in, like we did to pay for the thing, if we can't muster that money together, if anyone is putting amounts of money in, they either need to come to us and say, can we gather this collectively so that we can all pot in the pot like we did before, or it needs to be done with the intent that this is a donation, because that just keeps the energy clean.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
not in debt then,
Totally agree. Yep. Yeah.
Is SOTEM in place of giving or is it receiving?
Yeah, as the one who's done this the longest, you usually do start it up by loaning it money and you can get paid back or not. The lawyers always say you put it in and you say it's a loan too, to be paid back if and when. I've always started them up and I've never paid myself back for anything because I've seen it's a donation. It is what it is. Even here, well, for an event, it could be a little different. I've got money coming and I'm going to put that in, however, whatever it takes. I'm figuring it might take $5,000. After the event, whatever we raise, I'll pay myself back as one of the vendors or not. If my money's all here, I'm going to say the hell with it. That's just a starting donation. Because you're right, it's the energy that is really important. I don't think it's going to be, the earth keeps telling me, and probably Christopher, maybe some of the others, do this now. You've got something to kick you off. You've got something to make you very visible. What you need, you're going to get. And the more we listen to the earth and do what she tells us, the easier it's going to be to bring in what we need.
Right.
Yeah.
And so at that point, it just becomes important that as these things come up, that the definitions of those things are spoken about and documented in a sense, that the clarity is there. So if an event's going to cost $5,000 and somebody says, "Oh, I'll put up the 5, but I need it back," right? And or whatever portion of that I can get back, because maybe it's a bust in a sense, right? You don't get back all, it has to be, it's about definitions, right? in a sense, and it's about having those agreements before you go into it. Agreements without, not the assumptive kind of agreement that we all think this is going to happen, or this is the way it may work out, because we all may have a different assumption. So I have worked with,
assumptions on this.
so I have worked with other groups,
Yeah.
most, I've brought companies together for,
Mhm.
kind of like advisory boards unto themselves, where they've all seeded money into it. The agreement being that once they dissolve, that whatever portion, right, whatever fraction they put in, they got that fraction back when they were done with the work that they were doing
Yeah.
out of that. So to me, it does come down to because we may have to figure some of that out. I have this feeling that once we're legitimate, that the flow will start.
Mm.
I sense that um, a lot over the last few weeks, is like, and especially after talking to Jim about this event and stuff, it's just like no real worry or concern in a sense, because I think the timing is right now. We're getting our papers. We're a little bit overlapping in our timing, but maybe that's by design.
Mm.
But
Just
it has to just be
oh, sorry.
clearly put out. Go ahead, Al. Yeah.
Just to share, like the event we've done, no, nature in art, art in nature. It was like, this is the time you have to do it. We reached out to friends who could come travel. Maximum we could do is maybe have them stay somewhere, and funding came through friends and family who just donated so that that could happen. We were worried about money, but it just worked out on its own, because the ones who really wanted to come really put in their love and effort, and they just came, and money came, and by the end of it, we weren't taking donations, but friends and family just pulled in so much money that we had enough for the event and food and staying and things like that. So there is definitely the planning, but there is also like the faith we need to have and the intention with
Mhm.
which, and it just comes. I've seen it happen. So yeah, I think it's good to plan, but it's also kind of good to ask for help, and
Yeah.
friends and family who can, because yeah, it worked out by the end of it on its own.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. We got 5 weeks left to do this thing, which means we're completely insane. But it has to be like Elian's saying, this one's total trust.
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
got it. And it's no coincidence that some of these things appeared. As this thing started to shift, and I was feeling strongly, and then when I heard Robert, we still had to do it. That's when I started hearing that this money I had was getting freed up. It's coming. That these people stood up who were really, they know how to run these sorts of things. They've run as many as I have, and so it's like, okay, we can do this.
Mm.
And an event's different than when I put something in to Sodom because we need something, whatever that might be, to fund a bank account or buy something or do a document we have to file. To me, that's just total donation. When we're running an event, it goes on we just become a vendor, one of the vendors, because we need the money up front. If the money
Mhm.
doesn't come back, then I don't get paid back, neither do the other vendors. And to me, that's a trust piece. Or I say, "Ooh, I got plenty of money here right now. I'm not going to take it back. I'm going to say, leave it in there to use highest and best good of the organization." And so that's kind of what I'm envisioning. And whoever needs to be here, especially on our board, will. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I was wondering if Louisa was coming, but here comes. Somebody's just coming into the room. Hi, Louisa. Yeah, the tea's in the pot. Grab a biscuit and then. Oh, that's weird. Chris already stumbled in earlier.
Gotta love it.
And this has to be total faith. There's nobody that can put something together like this. If tons of people ascend on us here or descend on us here, I'm not even worried about what we do. The city won't be happy, but that's not my problem.
Yeah.
If we get,
I know,
yeah,
yeah, I was going to say, I know when it shifted, the energy changed completely
oh
for me.
my God. And
Like
you
it
jumped,
just feels,
you jumped on that stream.
yeah,
I only had 37 people asking me things and we shifted this and they're coming out of the woodwork. Somebody, I
Yeah.
didn't start that. Somebody started a stream. Maybe it was Robert. And suddenly they're coming from everywhere. And
yeah,
they're probably 95% positive. And then you have your few, oh, you're going to do another Sedona thing. You're just making money. So there we have it.
Yeah, which then swings us around to maybe some of the other agenda topics, which it then becomes very important that we get on and get our information on the website so that they can see what it is that we're actually offering. So all of our little committee bits, we need to have at least our blurb, so we need to be talking about what we mean by connections. We need to be talking about the transgenerational stuff, and Tanya gave me a bit of blurb for the education to put up today, so I've put that. So just like Robert's been asking, fill it out a little bit. But I think if we need to do that ASAP so that it's there for backing up this event, so that when people go and take a look, they can go, oh, yeah, maybe this is a bit more legitimate. Maybe it's not just about money. Let's go and check them out, see what they're actually talking about.
Right. And we're always going to get those dark entities because they're going to try to.
Yeah, of course there are.
Yeah, and we don't care. We've had too much light, but I've never been with such a lit up group. Have to think about how that was said. You know what I mean?
the bit that I look at are those who just haven't found the attraction to the event yet.
I think they're in fear and they don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I feel it, and when I felt the energy change, like it feels way more grounded now. Well, it's like it's got its feet on the ground. Now it can go somewhere.
Literally.
Yeah.
On the
Whereas
right.
beforehand,
Mhm.
it was totally different. It didn't have that same connection. I was looking at, okay, how are we going to do this? Because the connection needs to be there, whereas now it feels more.
I think in some ways that's probably why I feel such a strong pull to actually physically be there.
Yes.
That it's like if the board is there.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
That we are cementing the whole thing in.
Yeah.
It's like we are all turning up and saying, yeah, we actually are turning up. We actually are here.
Okay. I want you to my right, holding my hand. If we can do this.
I'm going to sit on the ground in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to do it. Yeah, I just get this impression. I see you there, you're to my right, and I see you holding my hand.
And we will be some of the elders taking the people out into the nature to talk to them and connect with the earth.
I can feel you holding my hand.
Yeah.
But so no aliens there. You're there.
I would like to see or meet as many of our board there as possible.
Yeah. We're in circle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
feeling.
see lots of flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome it in. Let's walk this land together. Whatever it is, I feel you with me doing something, doing whatever it is. Please be there. It is still your choice. It's still a choice. Sort of.
No sodom.
What's that? Yeah, I feel it. Okay, we've got this grounded.
I'm getting all these messages as we talk.
Oh, that's interesting.
Ooh.
For each one of us, there is a horde that comes with us.
Oh,
Yeah,
So the land will be full, but you may not see them.
the ancestors.
I will.
Important that we're there.
Mm-hmm. The ancestors are coming, that's for sure.
As you say that, I feel two trees coming in. That's going to be fun.
Has to be.
What's that?
It has to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, when you said doing whatever you're doing, I'm doing whatever you're doing with you. And it's singing and dancing
yeah.
and
It's
holding
what
hands.
Yeah, it's not what I'm doing, it's what we're doing.
Singing and dancing and holding hands.
And we're going to be
Yeah.
doing a lot of that. We have more people coming in to do that.
Well, I won't be doing the singing or the dancing.
Yes, you will.
I think you
We'll need some really big healing for that one.
Yeah, don't worry.
yeah.
We won't be childish, but we will definitely be childlike.
That I can
Hey,
do.
Robert.
Good day, mate. And if it becomes too much, we simply blame Robert because he's the one who energized it.
I love it. I keep getting walk this earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got to walk it. Yeah. Interesting. Thank you for that.
Aliam, what do you have?
Hmm?
What do you have?
Flowers around the circle, water, fire, earth. It's just like the event we had before, which we had a ceremony, a fire ceremony, and a protective shield, so to say. So is coming with it is essential to do that before the event at the location, wherever that will be.
Yes.
Yes, and all the holes and all the spaces from where entities could enter needs to be sealed. Only love, only light.
Say that.
Yes,
Say that
that's
again. Say that again, Elaine.
all the openings from where entities can enter needs to be sealed.
Ah.
If we do this with love, they shouldn't get in.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
we're gonna, we were gonna do
Which is,
around
yeah.
the fence anyway. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we know we've got, now that Louise is coming, that gives us 4 of us here. There's the 4 directions. I'm pretty sure Sonia's coming. Tanya. I was just chatting with Sonia. There's another one. To Don's on the fence. I can feel it.
Well, my mother will be here, so I don't have much choice. I so want to be there. But as you all
Give her
talked, I
flowers.
just feel,
Yeah,
I
here,
just feel
Mom.
this vibration. I'll be there. I'll be connected to it.
Well,
And we,
everyone else
you
will be
know,
connected, yeah.
So
um,
what you do, Don, is you introduce your mother to the new sleep out, which you just happen to construct on a trailer. And as she goes to sleep for the first night, you just drive.
well, well, ironically, she's headed home the last day of the event.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which is
And
in Arizona.
normally,
Well,
which
just, you
is
know,
Arizona.
you're just indirectly taking her home. So she's going to go home on the same day, but you're just going to start going home 2 or 3 days earlier.
It takes at least that to get there from here.
She can come.
It's 3 days.
And
drive.
she would love it. She
Mm.
would absolutely love it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's
Um,
settled. So now
but-
Don's gonna be here with his mother.
Jim,
Um,
there's something else I see. I don't know why I have
Yeah.
to tell you, but everybody. The central section has a Taurus,
Okay, yeah,
energetic Taurus,
okay.
and then there's a larger section on top, like a
Hmm,
bubble.
okay.
Yeah.
So the physical layout of this place, Posse Grounds, there's a big amphitheater, okay, with a big stage, so forth, and then a lot of land where people can sit. This will be September, so it'll still be quite warm here. It shouldn't be as warm as right now, but who knows these days. So as you all envision this, do we need a bunch of canopies to keep the sun off people? I think we might. It's been suggested, or not. What kind of art do we need there from our artists? I know we need flowers around. That's all I've gotten. And then right across from it is a building, one big open room. It's 900 square feet. I was going to rent that as well. So when we're talking around the circle, letting the ideas come forth, we can move over there if we had to get out of the sun for a while, or just to have a place to do it. And then there's grounds all around it and trails, and it's beautiful scenery. I can send pictures. The red rocks are all around us. I think the elders, which includes our board members who are there, at least 2 times, maybe more, will be taking groups of people out to a spot on their own to talk to the earth, to hear the earth, to teach them a little bit. So that could be done right on the site there, which I think helps. Yeah, that's Posse Grounds. So
I was just wanting to cry.
yeah. I was going to say for myself, all I feel drawn to is the earth, and she's there.
yes,
But that's just my personal drawing.
no, I hear you.
Yeah.
The one woman, Eve Crow, who's one of the helpers here, we've done things here. This is where we did the rain dance last month.
Yeah.
And we had 70 some people. She's had 120 plus. I just don't know how many are coming. And again, I'm not going to worry about it. They'll move around the Posse Grounds.
Taking in what you said, Alien, too, I've just been playing or working with the energy already.
Excuse me, hold it. That's the building. Go back one more. That's the 900 square foot building, I believe. Maybe
That's the recreation room remodeled, it says.
that.
See,
I think
could
that's
be,
it. Yeah.
yeah, it looks to be about
called-
900
called the
square
Hub.
feet.
Yep, it's called the Hub. There's the trails. You
Ooh,
can see
pretty.
look at the views.
Wow.
That's the amphitheater. That'll be the main area. There's your views.
That's where I want to go.
That's it. There.
You can feel the tree.
That's
Yeah.
it. There.
There's several
Alright.
of them speaking to me.
Red sand.
Beautiful. Got it.
Oh,
Mhm.
That one.
goosebumps.
There's the amp. That must be the
Yeah.
amp
It is,
theater
yes.
right
It is.
there.
And I'll have I'll be talking to Robert. If you pay $30 an hour, they have somebody there that does all the electrical support and all that stuff. I don't know if we need it with Robert being there, but if we do, we can get it.
And I could bring my skateboard.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Cool. I'll stop sharing.
When you come in, Don, your mother will bring you in this way, holding the buddy. Come on, Donnie.
Well, it really wasn't supposed to happen this way because normally she comes to see
know.
me first and then
Yeah.
she goes to visit my brother. And so this time my brother's, I think it's that double knee surgery thing I talked about last
Yeah.
time. So
Think about it,
Oh.
Don. Think about it.
yeah, I just put it out there.
It's telling you something.
Just bring her with you.
It is beautiful.
Alien, with the energy, there's something you've got to add,
Yes.
I feel. What is it? And I get a sense of working together with this one too.
Ooh.
Water,
Yeah.
center, water body
Water.
What are you
at the
feeling with
center
that?
of the center of the torus. So even if it's some sort of a container, you know, like you have in India, where you have like a container and then you have flowers floating on the
Oh.
water.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got goosebumps. Yes.
Okay, cool.
So even if you're not here, Ian, are we to create some piece of art while this thing goes on?
Mm-hmm. But I feel also if there are people who are good with their hands
Mhm.
from the amphitheater, I don't know how tall that is, or from spaces, if there are things that move in the wind, that would be really nice.
Oh,
I don't know about the sound, but I definitely see movement.
Mhm.
They're just like hanging from
I
places.
I was reading it last night and I meant to bring it down to read to you. And it's part of this Weaver's Trail. And it's about, we call them cluties here, actually. So a bit like prayer flags, but you're taking strips of cloth. So there's an act of everybody taking strips of cloth and we weave our prayers into strips of cloth and then they hang
Goosebumps.
so that they are flowing in the wind and you're making a prayer tree,
Yes. Oh, beautiful. Full goosebumps.
which can build during the week. You know, anybody can sit down and pick up cloth and they can draw on it, paint on it,
Oh,
write on it, but they're weaving prayers
oh,
into the cloth and then they get hung up on the tree and then we can work out what we do with them at the end. Maybe what you do with them, that was interesting how the story went. What you do with them at the end is that they all go in the ceremonial fire
Mhm.
oh.
and
Can't have.
dust is taken, made into a powder.
Mm.
It's put into the water and everybody has a drink.
Wow,
Oh, goosebumps.
that's beautiful. So we need to have something to replace the fire, but we'll figure that out. And it's very similar to what we did starting Standing Rock too. And then from there, we went to the flags.
What is there from Standing Rock we're bringing?
Other than me,
Yeah,
an old
because
grand warrior.
because it's just, as you say it, I feel something from Standing. We
Yeah.
need to bring more than one thing from Standing Rock to be there. It's like three.
Wow.
You're showing me three.
I've reached out to Chief Phil Lane, who's a
Yep.
friend, and he's done some of these other things with us. Robert knows him well,
Yeah.
and we were at Standing Rock together as well.
Okay.
What else? There is the flag element, but I don't know if is there something we want to tell people to bring? A stone, a gem, a rock,
Yes,
in addition to their hearts and their spirits.
yes,
So we'll get some clarity around that.
yes. No, I say yes. It's like building a giant altar, and if I here, I would ask everyone to bring something that will represent them,
Wow.
that helps to build the energy of the space so that they bring themselves in to that sacred prayer.
Hmm.
Even if they take it back with them afterwards, it doesn't matter. It's part of the energy of the weekend. So it gets filled up with it and they take their piece back, and it will carry with it everything we've done and all the work we've done for them to take out. And everybody should take when the sacred fire is finished at the end, everybody should take a piece, some of the ash.
Remember, there won't be
And-
any fire.
Okay.
And
there
some-
won't be.
And something,
Water,
Complete
Yeah.
water.
water.
Yes.
Oh, water. I don't know why, but is Maya coming?
Hmm?
Maya?
I don't know. She's had some health issues. She's currently in California, just visiting for a couple weeks. She'll be back soon. I suspect she'll be there. Yes.
got it. You know, I said about going to that creek, Jim, when I first get there, it's the first thing we got to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Water from there. We've got to get it at my entry point.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that, Alan.
Yeah.
So all of the
What do you feel?
all of the stones or the gems that people bring as their piece of the altar goes into the water holder,
Mm.
so that the altar is the water,
I get a sense whatever's
and it
taken
will help
back,
build.
a suggestion that people have something that they can, when they take it back, it goes to the earth,
Mm.
because that's what we're listening to and interacting with.
They take it away to wherever it is that they have come from.
Oh, yeah.
Bury
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the
So
water,
it's-
they can take containers of water with them, which they pour out wherever they
Yeah.
feel.
Yes.
And I'm
Piles.
hoping we can
Piles, yes.
Yeah. That's it. Because I could see because this is what it's about. It's listening to your earth, interacting with her,
absolutely.
making her part of our life, getting this flow going. It's not just physical. By
No.
the time they leave, hopefully they'll have a connection with it consciously, that they can feel that joining back with her, back in their home ground.
Yeah, I hope we have some
Where-
directions from the earth when we leave to share out. Here's what
Yeah.
here's what you need to do. Little two
Oh,
nuggets.
she's already lining up
And I
for
hope
that
we
one.
have, I really want to get a big screen connection. I hope we can do that. Because then I'd like to have Eliane come in and guide what we're going to create as a piece of art. So that brings in that part of the world.
Yeah,
And of course, her amazing energy with that sort of thing. And then we'll have
Yeah.
others, like Louisa will be here, who's another artist, but it just brings in. And then we got Crazy Chris and Insane Jim,
Yeah.
we'll just be running around,
Having fun.
having fun. Thank you.
I sing to the trees. That's why they put me away.
No, it's
Yeah.
gonna be beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, it's warm. It's so warm. Like
That's-
warm.
Yeah. Yeah, people bringing something from where they come from
Yeah,
to bring to their,
small.
share the energy and bring it back home to the earth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't have to bury it. It can be on top if they feel drawn to bury, but the earth will receive it. I'm
got a
seeing
que-
her surface.
Okay, I got a question for your collective wisdom. The more we talk, and each time I do it with somebody, it's getting bigger.
Yep.
Do I go and meet with some people in the city, like city council? If I do, they're given a heads up, they're gonna be like, could potentially be a lot of people in town for that weekend. They might help us, or they might say, no, you can't do this, there's no time.
I get a sense of talking to them.
Okay.
It's all about trust, isn't it? So you have to trust that the right thing will happen. So if you talk to them, you'll get the right reaction,
Good.
whatever that is. and I think that's part of the lesson, isn't it? Is that you might have an idea of what you think the right response is, but it's not what you think is the right response. It's knowing that whatever the response you get, that is the right one.
I'm getting a sense of flow with it, so I'm hoping that's accurate. And I'm just putting energy into that, or acknowledgement into it. It's not like I've got to feed it, because I just feel it there. And this is the thing about community, is having that community feeling, working together every step of the way. We bring that into it. See that coming out with community, working together, acknowledgement.
And why would you not ask?
Because they can be Nazis.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The only reason for not asking comes from a fear of their reaction.
And that was
If you're not frightened, but it's that energy of it's the worry of a negative fear, a negative response. So
is this a publicly
doesn't
open
work from
space?
fear.
It is a public,
Is it?
it's a huge park with ball fields and dog parks and this
Okay,
and trails.
so yeah,
Better to have them on your side than off it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're renting the space, therefore there shouldn't be any permitting needed.
yeah.
We're renting that part of it. Taking little groups off to talk to them should be fine. We're not going to take 100 people. If somebody will have 10 people, 15 people.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a different city council than it used to be, I'm told.
I feel that if you got the feeling to ask,
I don't. That's why
if it's even a question, then the answer is
I didn't
if
have.
it popped in.
Yeah.
Well, who suggested it? Was it suggested to you?
No, it just came as we're talking.
Well, there you go. If it came as you're talking,
Yeah.
then that's it. That's it. That's
Well, now I will, because I'm seem to be getting a
Yeah.
positive from each of you.
Also, I think the intention with which you will go will matter. So
Oh,
just
yes.
like we were doing, it was for Mother Earth. It wasn't for us. It wasn't for the art. It was for her.
Mhm.
And that's what we did every time for
Mhm.
whatever we were doing. It's like, it's for her. She'll
Mhm.
handle it. The ancestors will come, so that's what we did. And it was reciprocated
Yes.
similarly. And the ones who are not supposed to be there were.
I think it's
Yeah.
part of sealing those holes, isn't it? In actually the act of going to the city council and
different
Yes,
mental
But in-
yes,
health. Yeah, yeah.
goosebumps. Yes.
you are healing, you are shutting, closing, sealing off those
Oh,
potential holes by going and asking.
yes, yes.
Now, what do I do about the money? We're going to start having people pay. I hate to put it in a personal account. It's got to flow somewhere.
Can you set up a PayPal account without a bank account for it to go into?
No, I don't think so. I still have a PayPal account for Sodom. It got so messed up. I can't access it. There's still $30 sitting in there that's been now for 3 years. And I just got a notice, so no coincidence. But
Now,
Because we already have, we have the board email.
yeah,
So there's the potential therefore to set up an account, isn't there?
and I can't set up a bank account here at all for us.
No.
We have to set it up in wherever Don thinks, Delaware or you guys think or whatever. Okay.
now, where was the money going beforehand?
Huh?
While it was still, where was the money going while it was still at 444? Because a friend of mine said she's already paid it with credit card.
You were going to get back to me. If that actually happened, we have to get that refund. It was going into
Okay.
Sidonia's account,
Oh,
because they're also a nonprofit.
yeah.
And they've done all the ticketing. So do that sooner rather than later.
Contact. Who do we contact for that?
Well, yeah, maybe it's better if you go to Sidonia. That's a good point. Or let me know who it is and I'll get hold of them. And
Yeah, I can send you the person's name.
okay, let's start there. If they need to hear from her or somebody else, then yes, let's do that.
Mm,
And we, theoretically we could do it here, but it doesn't feel right. Because once again, when I left that meeting and Robert had me call and he said, whoa, the chains are off. This is absolutely right, blah, blah, blah. So to put the money back into the place that doesn't feel right now doesn't feel good to me.
Mm.
I could open up another personal account, but it's still a personal account. And I know I can do it legally. I'm the treasurer, but I'd prefer not to.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What else?
Well, all that's coming to me is asking.
Mhm.
All that's coming to me is that again, it's down to trust. The timing will be exquisite, which is really fine tuned. That when we need the account, then actually the filing will have finished and we can create the account. And it might all just be that it all happens at the same time. It's like fine timing. But I just get the feeling that when you need it, you'll be able to create it.
I think we'll need
So
it
you
pretty soon.
Yes.
And I have to figure those details. So
So I had a thought, and I have to
Yeah.
check into it more, and actually Octavia may know because she worked at PayPal for a number of years. But why not bank at PayPal? Because I think PayPal is a bank. And
Yeah.
actually it's one of the most secure places, on the planet for money in a sense of hacking, etc.
so maybe
So maybe that's the best route to take because it
okay. So
creates a funnel from it. It's
yeah.
So
to me
can
that
we,
just came to me yesterday.
so can we create a PayPal account with
you
the
have it. So
with
maybe
the
what we need to do, I'm just
Oh.
cutting through because I don't want to lose this thought. There's an account there, Don, and I've always used the GoFundMe's to put money into it. For some reason, I haven't been able to access it. I give them they have all the documents. Maybe if I work with you and you contact them or Louisa, I don't care which, but you're easier because you're in the US. And see if we can get it. If it's reopened, then it's there and we have no problem.
Yeah, if you have any paperwork, again, it comes down to, well, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you because,
No, I'll go to them. I'll call them and talk to them and say, look, I'm no longer the president. I'm now the treasurer. This thing, I tried to get reopened. I finally gave up in disgust. It's still sitting there. We have one of our two, whatever term they need, I don't care, counselors, presidents, but can I put that person in touch so they can do it? And maybe a new body will help. I don't know. I don't understand the problem. They have all the frickin' documents. They've got the 501c3 filings. And then I would go all through this mess and it still wouldn't open. And it could be like I'm hearing you guys because the timing wasn't right. So yes, we can do that. We can probably also open
well,
a Venmo.
they're not a bank
No.
because they don't have all the, I just Googled it.
Okay.
So we have to figure out, what the best entity to bank at will be.
Well, yeah, and this could be temporary though.
Well, yeah, because you can, I'll have to go through some of this stuff they've got on here.
Well, and if we get people, but okay, if we can reopen it, we can have the tickets bought there. And then I can leave that money sit there for a period of time. I don't have to move it right away.
Well, yeah, yeah, you know what, I might just reach out to their customer service and talk
Okay.
through it. Because
Oh.
it does say that, and if you've got some paperwork around that. I'm waiting for the mail guy. I just ran out and he hadn't been here yet to see if we got our papers. Is, you know, it says it's safe to use as a bank account.
Yes,
But you don't have that FDIC insurance, which means you
correct.
could lose your money if you know, PayPal fails as a company. I have to laugh a little about
I don't
that.
think it's time.
So the answer is, you know, you have it as the bank account until we're in a position to open a bank account.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that makes sense. So yeah, let me sort through those
Which one is
details,
this?
and
Now, this is sanctuaries, right? Yes.
because then that makes
So
it easier. I
here's,
know that Venmo, you can link a you know, an account for business to a Venmo account, even under your own profile, right?
yes,
If you have a company, because I have that for our little
correct.
cap thing here.
Okay, so here it is.
All right.
PayPal for sanctuaries. Okay. B1 and Wolf 23. Do we have an email that's still sodom.org at Gmail or no?
We have Sodom board at Gmail.
So
Yeah, so
we'd have to change that. It's not a big deal. Okay. All right, if we could do that, that would be awesome. And especially, so then I could pay bills out of that too, because it's a PayPal. So as vendors needed to be paid, I could handle that. Until Christopher and Louisa get here, and then I'll have additional board support.
no monthly fee, no minimum balance.
No, because they get to use it and it's bragging rights. And then when Don gets here with his mom, that'll help too. Robert will be trucking in with his van and all his equipment.
And of course, there's no fees on PayPal for donations either.
That's correct. Yeah. And then when
well,
Ellie
thank
gets
you,
here,
Creator, for that thought.
yeah, no, that's good. I had given up because I got so frustrated trying to reopen it. I that was when Standing Rock was going on. I used it for the first couple of months until they got their own nonprofit going. So I brought some funds in there, and then I gave it to Standing Rock, to LaDonna, and then stopped. I only did it as, you know, they needed money quickly, so I did it for a little bit.
But I'm with Louisa. I just feel that everything will just flow together.
I agree. It already is.
Yeah. And the energy shift that I felt was the same as everyone else's when you called and we talked, and
Yes.
um
That's why it was important to call around. I didn't realize that. I knew that when Eliane and Louisa and I were talking. Because man, just like now, I'm so wired, I don't know what to do with myself. But it just started building then. And then I called you, and then talking to Robert and Christopher and I for a long time, and there's still a few others for me to call. Tanya and I have talked a little. We're going to talk more later today. And Kat and I talked for about an hour yesterday. Who am I missing?
You talked to Tanya. How about Shami?
Oh yeah, and Shami and I have talked a little. She will be here as well. That's right. There's another one. Shami's coming. I think I'm talking to my landlord, who's also my friend, about the large building here, which is almost done to be an Airbnb. I wanted her to donate it for a few days or whatever. If she won't donate, I think I'll just rent it. I think that has room there's one woman in there, probably 8 or 9 people. It's 4 or 5 bedrooms, 3 or 4 baths. It would certainly alleviate for us, for our core group. Anyway, I'll find out about that. Ooh. Okay, Robert's off filming.
There is backup plan.
Yeah.
Like you did for Standing Rock, like
Yeah.
Sedonia or Sedona Center for Shamanism might have accounts also, if there are people that are good people.
Actually, we're new and we're not a nonprofit,
Okay, okay,
so that doesn't help.
okay.
Uh-oh. Oh, I see this big Air India plane going over. Who's coming? Oh, dear.
Well, you're sitting on my right, so you know
There you go.
I've got Christopher on my left, and you're on my right.
I'll come on my broom.
Okay, there you go. Well, we know
Oh,
you're a shaman, but you must also be a witch then, I guess.
I was going to say, rocking it, sister. Come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As this ripples out, then we'll have one in India, we'll have one in Great Britain, they'll be all over. I can feel it. I really can.
And people will come. I had this. I was in meditation, and the message came that people will be giving us land. People are gonna.
Yes,
People are just gonna
yes.
yeah.
Can-
Mm.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
feeling
What a
that
it.
feels good.
beautiful vision.
See,
So these spots of light with roots under that are connected. So it's every time this happens,
oh,
that thing will connect and connect and connect and connect. Oh, this wow.
that's the weaving we're talking about. Yes. So we're not only weaving, we're weaving below the surface as well and above the surface. In between.
I've been very interestingly watching a program recently on BBC iPlayer called Earth with Chris Packham, and the one that I just watched was how life started on the land, however many billion years ago, when the algae came onto the shore but couldn't get away from the water. They wove a relationship with the myceli of the fungi who were already here on land. That's when the plant and fungi relationship began, where they wove themselves together to be symbiotically helpful, and all life as we know it today was created from that bonding and relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, just adding to that, the trees have been taking me or bringing to me, bit of both, their microbiome that you're talking about, Louise, within mycelium and that. And they've been showing me how they work together as community. And she says, where is your community? And she's showing me our community needs to come together, or is coming together to be a part of her community. So they work together, both that microbiome and the earth and us on above the earth.
And that's what I saw when Allianz made her comment, was that it's because
beautiful.
it's relational back into the Earth Mother.
Yes. Oh, there's no other way. She just tells me we've got to listen to her and work with her guidance, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was telling Jim the number of the hummingbird and the frogs that just show up in my face, in a sense. They're that just are coming to talk, right? To the bees, the spiders. I mean, it's just they're showing up.
Yeah.
In the real, right?
Yes.
And last summer, it's been I guess it's been over a year ago, it was last May. I had a butterfly and it sat with me, literally on me, for almost an hour. And I put it back up into the plant. And I found it on the ground. It was trying to get its wings. And so I picked it up and I put it on this flower, and it crawled off and like jumped back on the ground. And so I just picked it up and I held it. But it was the longest time. But ever since then, it's just a kind of a recurring event, but it's going around the little different species I have in my area, right? To kind of show up.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's really pretty cool.
It is.
Now, asking a totally, absolutely random question here that has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about.
The best
Jim,
kind.
though, the SOTM group, the pictures I've been posting in there, or whoever is working with them, are you guys able to get those pictures from there to wherever they're needed?
I can access all your pictures you've sent. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Yes. And
Yeah, cool.
Robert's been working with him quite a bit.
perfect.
Okay.
Because I've got some here that I'm playing with as we're talking that I could transfer through to the SOTM group.
Okay. Oh, you're that same Christopher who sends all the photos. Oh.
Yeah, like that, eh? Keeps cluttering the page up.
Well, that must be your picture on the home page. The I don't know, the little scroll, I love it. The saying, the banner that with the words that go by in that.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Where is this homepage?
Yeah, what do you mean?
I'm on the sanctuaries.org site.
Oh, the website, you mean?
Yeah, I'm on the website
Oh, okay.
looking at the pictures go by. I assume some of those might be Christopher's because the shorelines kind of look familiar.
I think they're all Christopher's. that little
The
video.
energy that just comes off of that page of just watching them go by is profound.
I'm gonna pop some of them in as each page. You have the option for a featured image, and it doesn't. In the theme we've got, it won't show on the page, but what it does is if you ever share any of the pages, it means that the share will have an image. Otherwise, it doesn't have one. So what I'll do is make sure we've got one with the banner on it and a nice picture, so that each page has got something that when you share it, it looks good.
I just put one in the chat for everybody if you want to have a look.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. If we can get that over to the group on Facebook as well. A lot of the pictures got deleted on the Facebook groups, and that was one of them. So I just put something up temporary.
Oh,
I have no idea what happened. That's weird.
share to group.
I can.
This one should be
I have
titled "As Above, So Below."
I'm going to save it from here and turn it on
Wow.
desktop. So
I've just posted the whole. There was 5 photos I had together. I've just put the whole 5 into the SOTM group.
I had a question for writing about, say, the transgenerational wisdom section. So I'll sit on it tomorrow. Should I send it as a mail to certain everybody, or should I send it? Where should I send it? Because I'll sit on it tomorrow and write a short, description.
if you want to write something and you want it put, if you want it put up on the website, you can just email it to me. Because whilst Robert's busy doing what he's doing, email it to me and I can put it up in the right place.
Okay, good.
All right.
Good. Excuse me.
I've captured those two as well, just in case.
It's all right. The SOTM board group is going to have an inundation of photos.
Excellent.
Ooh, those look nice.
as soon as I get the contract worked out for Posse Grounds, then I will activate the group and so forth. And then Louisa, we can get it up. Maybe we need to get it up on the website before that. I don't know, but
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
it should probably be Wednesday. They agreed to see me.
That sort of post you wrote about it. We could post that up as a blog anyway.
That'd be good. Yeah, that's good.
Can you do that? Do you want me to do that?
Can you?
Pictures and everything off of that post.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll convert it into a blog on the website then.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've got now 5 people to call around this thing today.
Yeah, no, sure.
And I got 2 dogs that say, you better take an hour and a half for us, which is also for me. So
So I've had my neighbor's cat who comes during the day sometimes. She's got
Mhm.
one good eye and one not so good.
hmm.
And
Ah,
she's here.
Oh,
kitties.
She comes every night now.
A little big cat energy.
Yeah, my little Sage comes and sits with me and it never fails. I'm trying to log in and I have to comb her first. So she'll lay down and settle down, but it's kind of nice energy to have. But she'll sit there and sleep all day, right? While I
Yeah.
work away.
Yep, that's what cats do.
That's what I saw a meme that says, yeah, when we grow up and we're adults, we just all want to be cats, right? Because I look at my cats laying around. I'm like, come on, do something, right? Right.
Nope.
Uh,
They,
or-
they did do something. They wandered to the food bowl.
Yeah,
yes, yes.
and they went and pooped in the box.
I don't think my cat even does that when I'm not up there. She just waits for me to come home and then
Oh.
checks I'm in, and then out she goes.
Okay.
I've captured a few things just to kind of, around the
Yes, please.
discussion on the spending. So I put it, if you are compelled to use personal funds for SODM, it needs to be considered a donation. Now, we can talk here. For events, consider SODM a vendor is required to recoup any upfront expenses, some of which may be an individual board member recoupment. Events need to be discussed in advance with respect to financial planning and outcome. Is that a good summary?
It is. Events can be,
That sounds good.
I would say, event money can be recouped by blah, blah, blah. They don't have to be.
Yeah, and as necessary,
Yeah.
All right. And then I captured a little on Posse Grounds. I told
Okay.
Jim we're going to change it to Possum Grounds.
We can do that.
The idea to bring in accoutrement, that's the only word I could find from where an accoutrement,
Oh, no.
from where people come from for the altar. I didn't know what to call it.
No.
An item.
A totem.
Oh,
Totem.
there you go. That's the word. I was
Totem or a sacred piece. Use the word small.
Talisman, totem, yeah, such as a stone or
Yeah,
gem
good.
or something.
Because somebody will pull up in a van with a
Yeah.
100-pound rock or something.
Could even be a vial of water or some
Yes.
soil.
Yes, good.
In some
Oh,
ways, that was
That's
something we could contribute to the earth afterwards or through part of the, wherever feels appropriate.
that's quite a nice idea, actually. Bring a stone or a piece of and a small amount of soil from where you are
Pour water.
to bring it to the ceremony or to us, so that it's that
Mm-hmm.
weaving in as well as taking it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite nice.
Tis.
Yeah.
So I put bring I gotta get rid of the yam here. A totem talisman such as a rock, soil, gem, water, etc., from where they come from or came from, to bring back to bring the energy back to their home and to take the energy back to Mother Earth
Yes.
in that area.
I
Mhm.
think you can add, like, some people bought bark, some people bought seeds.
Yeah.
Funnily, I was looking out at the leaves then and thinking, oh, we need to add the plant material in somehow.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm making a sacred, like a map of the sacred landscapes which 30 to 40 young kids have collected,
Mm.
and they brought all of these things from, and it's going to be woven into the map or
Mm.
inserted into the map.
Ah, okay. So whatever we make here for these couple of days has to be something we weave together, since we're talking about weaving. Okay.
That's where I captured I called them ribbons of prayer intention.
Yeah. Mm. Okay. From this location, from the stage, you can see Standing Eagle Rock. You can see a lot of the red rock. Oh, well, you saw it, but Standing Eagle's right behind it, so you can see that one clearly. Or as the stupid Europeans like to call it, Coffee Pot Rock. Bloody dim bulbs. Oh, we can also, if anybody wishes, I'm going to put something out for some of our group. The two women who have stepped up to work with me on this, they're also healers and psychics, and then my own stuff. I'm going to say for people who come early or want to stay late, if they want to book sessions with any of us or anybody in the shamanic group, or you guys when you come, we can do that too and accommodate them that way. I'm just going to give them a discount, and anything that comes in for
It's
me.
probably, you were talking about that.
Yeah.
That
I'm quite happy.
get a rent as
Yeah.
well. That's something we could do with that
Mm-hmm.
as well. People need a
Yeah.
one-to-one session.
And
I'm quite
anything-
happy to work with people one-to-one.
Okay. Yeah, for me, whatever I get, I'm just going to toss into the pot. But then again, for everybody who does something, we can put the blanket out as well for donations, the old traditional way.
Oh, they could pay for my airfare.
There you go. Be nice to be able to get that back to you. And Alienne's going to have a big airfare, so we have to help her.
I crossed my legs also. Please.
Okay, I'm crossing my toes. Ouch! Oh, dang. Hmm. Wow. So let's see. Okay.
I'm being quiet here. I'm transferring photos across to the Sotum group.
I'm transferring energy.
Cool.
I'm capturing attendance.
And
I got Robert. He was here
yes,
almost.
he was definitely here long enough to call it a quorum.
Well, I didn't really I didn't see anything that needed to be voted on officially.
Oh no.
Um,
Mm-mm. You made the changes we needed. That's great. We don't really need to go over that. to the documents.
The,
Yep.
the other thing I was going to mention that I sort of asked to put in the minutes, that if there was more of us, it would probably be relevant, but we're recording to the videos, because with Vimeo, we can only upload onto there 2 videos a month. So it's not a lot. And if I've already put one on there. So at the moment, using that for the website is going to be slow. So you can upload videos directly to the website. I think the concern with that is it will quickly munch up what our free storage is, but that doesn't mean we can't. So the main option at the moment is to have, if they're already uploaded on YouTube, the way of putting them on the website is to do it as a YouTube link.
Yeah.
Because YouTube would be free storage for the moment. Then what that brought into me as a question was, at the moment, nobody else can upload onto the YouTube channel but you, Jim, in the one that was the original one, because we can't get into it. But we do have one as the SOTM board Gmail address, because it automatically gives you a YouTube channel if you want one. It's not something that we use live, but I'm wondering if maybe we use that as our storage space, so we can upload.
Whoops.
You can then download them or share them from there, because everybody's got access to that with the
I would use the
board.
original one, and I can give people the access codes. Robert,
You did give me the access codes, but I couldn't get in.
really? Well, it has this thing about the British, I think. I don't, no, I didn't do it. Well, let's work on that, because that's got like, I don't know, 800 people already on.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about necessarily, changing them over as the channel, because you can actually, when you upload the video, you can put them on as private.
Yeah.
It's just that we can all access them, and therefore
Well, we need to try that though, to
share
make,
them from some. Quite.
have to see why you couldn't get access, because that's not a good thing.
Well, at the moment, that's why you're the one who has to do the recordings, because you're the only one who can get the recording on our YouTube.
Well, I didn't think anyone else knew how to do it. That was the problem.
No, it's because you're the only one who can get in. So if that doesn't change, then we need to start using the SOTM board one.
Well,
Not necessarily for public, but certainly for us sharing, I think.
Yeah, no, not for the public, because then they'll be able to, yeah, that would be disastrous. Let me see here a minute. Passwords. What are we looking at? What are we talking? YouTube. Excuse me, I believe my brain is full. Oh, YouTube. Oh, I wonder. No, should have been Wolf Pair. Okay, it must have changed. Interesting. All righty. Well, I don't want to check out of it to try to check in, because then we may all be out of it.
Yes.
I guess we'll have to figure something.
Well, if we use the SOTM board Gmail email address account, we don't have to, when we upload videos on there, make them public.
But then what good are they?
So we only have them up there so that there is a link, and from there we can share them where they want. So they can go on, you can put them on the channel you've got, and we can use that as the link place to put them on the website. It's just where then everybody can put their stuff, because it's putting it up. It's not
Let me try to figure the other one out too, because it's also an energetic thing. There's like 500 videos already.
Yeah.
All the way back to the beginning of SOTM. But I'll have to work on it. Somebody must have more skill around that than me.
So otherwise it gets very difficult for us to share stuff, because
Yes.
otherwise I have to keep doing WeTransfer or something, because you can't email them.
No,
Um,
well, I'll be damned.
I have
I
a
can't even
practical
use
question.
Hmm?
Sorry.
I have a practical question. Like we had a 3-day event also, and food organizing is like that's all planned and because it's important because we were so busy. But what we did is we spoke to local village people who were there, and we kind of had them in charge. So the core team that was there was getting free food, so to say, but then the other people could buy food, but all the money went to the village people.
I don't think we're gonna do food. We're gonna tell people to bring their food.
Okay.
Or there's taco trucks here. Used to be one, now there's 3. I was going to approach them and see if they would bring one. First, I have to ask the city. I don't know if we can do it. So that one's up in the air until I check with the city. And then other people ask if they could sell their goods. I have to find out on that as well.
Because we need food energy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I haven't thought of a good way. We don't want to be responsible for the food because of the liability.
Mm.
So if people bring a sandwich, which is what they usually do there, but it's a long day. I'm figuring like 8 to 5. No, probably longer than that because we'll
Mm.
finish with a drum circle. So yeah, that one's not. I haven't quite figured that out. One of the ladies brought that up, I think. Well, it doesn't matter. And yeah, we were kicking it around. It's a tricky one.
Yeah, if food is on your own, you definitely want to have some breaks, right? Where you're allowing people who may want to go off site to eat or.
It's going to be pretty well free flowing. We're going to create this as we go. It's going to be very organic.
Hmm.
So yes, we can do that, or somebody could take their bag and walk off at any time.
Hmm.
That can happen too.
I think warning people ahead, saying that it's going to be long hours. So if you do want to carry your food, then carry enough food
And
and water.
I think I put
whatever.
something in there, but yes, we're definitely going to do that. Bring food and water, and someone else said in there, right?
Can we?
Bring a folding chair if you wish.
Now it's being aware that no matter what you
We
tell
do a
people,
feed the
there's going to be those who forget.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, Louise.
and you're there. We're only
Can we do? So I know my internet is gone unstable now. Can we do a feed the 5,000?
what?
Well, so everybody brings something, but not just for themselves. Everybody brings something to add to the table.
Oh, I'm going to send my menu. Feed the wolf. Oh, I don't know if it's allowed. I have to find. I don't know anything about what I could do with food there yet. And there is, for people who forget, you could walk to the Whole Foods, which is right down the road, about a half a mile, or drive there. So there's those options. Same thing. I'm not doing anything. They have to figure out where they're staying.
Yeah.
There's tons of motels here. They're pricey. There's lots of open land where they can camp, lots of forest land. So that's not anything we're going to get into. First of all, there's no time to do that. I think we have to focus on the key points. Food's one of them. Yeah. Yeah. We want them to bring good food for the wolf.
If there's food trucks available, like independent operators, are you open to them being available?
That's what I said. If the city allows it.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
Whether they'll do it or not, I don't know. I have a feeling they would. They have at least 3 trucks here in town. One stays up by the airport vortex, and I think the other 2 are mobile. Well, even if we only had a couple hundred people, which I don't think is going to be the case, but even that seems like that would be worth it. Or even if they just came in for an hour or 2 hours in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's also why we kept and getting a lot of feedback, including from this guy in New Zealand, to keep it affordable.
Oh,
Yeah. And so, $111 for 2 days to me is almost nothing.
It is very cheap.
Yeah, so then they're on their own for the other things. And we are going to ask for any who can to donate more. If you
Yeah,
donate another 111, that's wonderful. It'll help us fund an elder getting somewhere. Or Air New Zealand or Air India or Air Great Britain, whatever.
now,
Or alternatively, of course, it could purchase our very own Sotom jet, so that we could go around taking all the board members.
Absolutely. And look at Don with the capital. He looks like a pilot type if I've ever seen one.
Not that we're doing it for money at all, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
I just had this thought that, and we're not going evangelical or anything, are we? Where
Oh,
we
God.
have our big jets and our.
Ooh,
Um,
praise the Lord.
oh,
So this, Don, is why obviously your Google Doc thing and the meetings minutes agenda thing were all screwy and wouldn't work.
That's right. There you go. We
but
just,
it all worked with the agenda
It
that I made. It just, I had to remake it. That just blows my mind. Octavia watched me too,
there's the problem. So, too many generations. For anybody who reaches out to have things donated, money or anything else, remember, we can give tax write-offs, at least here in the US.
Yeah, the corporations still have that luxury, right?
Yep.
Of being and so um
That'll be a biggie when somebody donates the land.
yeah. Well, and now that you say that, right? Different companies, different, is there anyone out there that wants to be a partner and sponsor in a sense, right? Do you have sponsorships or people who I'll just say, somebody's got a really cool gem rock franchises all over the place, and they sell the healing stones and all the other things that so you can go to corporations and maybe create sponsorships that are short term, long term.
Yeah, if there was time, yes.
No, I mean in perpetuity. I mean
Yeah,
beyond this.
absolutely, absolutely, we can do that.
Beyond this, because then that's
Yep.
where you go when you're getting ready to launch something and have an event, and you just go around to your partners and
Yep.
see who's got the extra flow.
And a
This
couple
one's
of,
a bit like showcasing us, isn't it, really?
it is, it's exactly what it is.
Yes,
It's gonna
board.
put us on the Sedona map. Sedona is recognized pretty much in everything as the #1 spiritual place in the Americas. Has been for years. And it's always in the top 5 or 6 around the world as well. So it's certainly one place we have to
So
be.
what has all the money done to the aura of Sedona? Because I'd been to, like, say, Santa Fe years and years ago, and I went back there 5-6 years ago, and it's not the same place. It's not the same energy.
You got to ignore the crap on top. It's the earth that's there, and that's what we're working with. There's more
Good
hotels,
answer.
there's more blah, blah, blah. And when the time's right, they're all going to be scraped off the surface anyway.
I'm gonna check the mail real quick, see if I can't make you happy, Jim.
John disappeared again. Where'd he go?
He's gonna go see if the mailman brought us a gift. I have really good range. I could go halfway across the parking lot.
Ah,
Hmm. I think he's actually me.
Ah, it's empty,
Uh-oh. You or
but
the
it'll be
or the
full.
mailbox? Oh,
There we go. Not today, I don't think, unless the mailman's running behind.
hmm. What else? Any other directions you all need to give me or?
No, I'm just sitting here transferring photos.
Good. I mean, is this
So
completely
all it,
insane or what? Or can we do this? Well, we will do it, but
I think we are doing it, aren't we?
aren't we already?
Yeah.
The jet has taken off. We are circling and we'll be landing. And then it'll all come together.
Yep.
It will be whatever it will be,
It's meant to be, therefore it will be. You're right.
will be, and it'll be what it is.
We just gotta keep
We
moving.
we may not know what. Yeah.
And then when you're really tired, everybody just hold each other.
Yep.
Because that's what happened in the event.
Yep.
We were just like, this is for Mother Earth. And by evening, because we were painting everything ourselves and framing and making decor and, you know,
Mhm.
cleaning, sweeping, and all kinds of stuff. So by evening, we were just like holding each other and hugging each other and saying,
Mhm.
let's, you know, we're here, we can do this.
Good. That was, yes, I had to face that one, Elian. As this started to shift and Robert's saying, oh, now we can really make it fly. And I knew Christopher was already in the air, figuratively. I'm thinking, holy crap, I'm not 40 years old anymore. I'm gonna be bloody tired. And then I just let it go. It's only the surface, it's not young anymore. And yes, so holding, hugging,
Yes.
those who are not here will be sending their energy and love. It'll all, yeah.
All right. I think some
Oh.
folks got things to do. Some folks probably need to get to sleep. Some folks are
Yeah.
getting about their day.
Let me just,
Um,
let me put this out there quick too. For those who can't make it here for this particular one, think about what you can do at your place for even a couple hours during that time frame. And that will connect us all even in a different way.
Yep.
Okay.
All
Thank you,
right.
all.
okay, anybody who wants to go to the SOTM board group, have a look at the photos, feedback's appreciated.
Thank you.
The ones who can't make it will hold space like you did for the event.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Who's gonna close us out? It's important.
Well, I want to give thanks to the mother, the earth, for her guidance through this. She's spoken to me a lot through this meeting.
Mhm.
I give gratitude for that, for others who've heard her and shared from that place. Louise, Eliane, Don, Jim, all of us who've listened to our guidance and come from that place and offer our hearts to this
Mhm.
endeavor. May we be guided in her light,
Mm.
in her earth, and in her flow. Thank you.
Nice. And I'll give gratitude for you guys and the others who aren't here, because that's my family. And you're my family through the earth, which is the most powerful family. And I recognize that every time I do a ceremony. So I'm really appreciative of that. And of the energy and the love that I always feel from any of you. And for this weaving we're about to do, we are now the spiders. That's all.
and then we step out from here and we hold each other up in energy and flow
Thank
and
you.
communication.
Mm.
And where there's love, there's hope. And there's love here.
Totally. And where there's love, there's life.
Absolutely.
And now, more importantly, we need to hear from the two women. This is just the men opening their big mouths.
And thank you for the connection and for the opportunity for some deep listening.
Mhm, mhm. Mm.
And thank you for the acceptance of each individual,
Wow.
of each being that breathes and is alive.
Oh, and we do have some on the board who are facing some gnarly bits of healing or personal things. So let's send our love to them. They're part of the family. So it is. I'll see you all over here soon.
All right.
I'm
Thank you,
I'm gonna
everyone.
watch it today.
Have an awesome, awesome week ahead.
Love you.
Thank you. Irv.
Love you.
Love you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good day, good night.
Good night.